Here we go. We're live here on Chicago Bears Now. I am Harrison Graham, producer Nick Roloff, a.k.a. Rolly, hanging out with us as well. 5 o'clock start time today, Central Time. Appreciate you guys. Had an appointment earlier, but we are all good to go. Everybody rocking and rolling with us. Appreciate the real ones for hanging out with us here on a Tuesday night. Get the chat going. Shout out your city. Let us know where you guys are watching from, and we'll get some shout-outs going. Shout out to the real ones. Michael is in Albany, Indiana. We got Torian hanging out in the chat. So is Jay. What's good, everybody? We got Martin in Nottingham, UK. Michael chanting FGB. Never too early to say FGB. Torian in Chicago. Oak Stever says, shave your ball hair, everybody. Manscaped. Go check out Manscaped. Jeremy in Indianapolis. We got Andrew out in California. Colson is in Florida. The Beast Gaming in Chicago. Ralph in Dallas. We got Rich Boy in Milwaukee. Chicago born but living in Kansas City. What's up, William? A different William in Foreskin, Tennessee. Let's see. We got Vitor in Brazil. Paul in Pax River. 2.0 in Indianapolis. Let's see. Estacada, Oregon. Shout out Jake. Papa Chubb in Texas. We're here in Dallas. Jose in the house. What's up, Jose? Ken in Houston. Rolly, why don't we bring you on the program? It was a bit of a marathon last week. Any words to start this stream tonight?
I'm glad to be back with Bears, the Bears country, Bear down. You know, it's just a good time to be back with my people.
Listen, Rolly and I were talking before the show. We're due for a signing. It's time for the Bears to sign another player.
Why isn't Yannick Ngakoue a Bear yet?
Yeah, Ngakoue needs to be a Bear.
Why?
Ngakoue needs to be a Bear. In fact, that's the next question here. Will the Bears sign Yannick Ngakoue? Should they sign him? Type S for sign, P for pass. Make it happen, polls. Let's get it done. I know he's not great against the run. The Bears had 20 sacks last year as a team. Dead last. Get him in here.
Listen, Yannick Ngakoue will rush the passer. You paid big bucks to Tremaine Edmunds and TJ Edwards to stop the run.
Yeah, let's go. Let's go. Get after the quarterback. Denise Clark saying Fort Wayne, Indiana. Michael saying Rolly is the bomb. I will say this, Rolly. There continues to be a textual debate whether you're R-O-L-L-Y or R-O-L-L-I-E. Any comments?
How did my guy have it?
Michael said I-E. You've been Y, though, for a while, I feel.
Laura says R-O-L-L-Y. She's also outing me. Laura says Bears... hashtag Bears. Rolly was at Giants channel when I was talking trash about Marsh. That is true. I was producing the Giants stream yesterday. I did see Laura in there, so she was giving Marsh the business. Yeah,
Laura, I have heard that you have infiltrated Giants now, so we appreciate giving them the business when it's necessary. Because sometimes, Marsh, he needs to get pushed back a bit. You can't just let Marsh run his mouth without any pushback. So we appreciate that. Ken says sign him. Bobby does as well. Nick says pass, can't defend the run. Yeah, you got other dudes for that, man. We need pass rushers. Let's go. Ken says sign. And Munro says sign. Says Yannick on a prove-it deal. In. Just get him in here. Colson says sign him. That's the thing, though. What does he have to prove?
Yeah, I was going to say, it's not really a prove-it deal when you average 8 sacks a season.
Yeah, or that's like the floor. He averages like 9 a season. It's crazy. Jay says sign him. Ed says sign him. Terrence says sign him. So let's make it happen. Let's get it in here, and hopefully Yannick Ngakoue eventually becomes a Chicago Bear. Who is your dream draft target at the number 9 pick? Who do you want? If you could pick one guy that you pick at number 9, who is it? Is it Jalen Carter? Is it Peter Skoronski? Is it Paris Johnson? I don't think Will Anderson's fallen to 9. Tyree Wilson? Papa Chubb says Carter. Stone says Carter. Devin, Ralph, and Steven say Jackson Smith and Jigba. So for those of you who want JSN, and I'm not saying that's right or wrong, but are you saying keep 4 receivers, like 4 really good receivers with JSN, Darnell Mooney, DJ Moore, and Claypool, or are you saying trade one of Mooney or Claypool? Because I just don't think you need to go 4 deep there. Like, if you're drafting a receiver in the top 10, you're expecting him to start. Like, you're hoping he becomes a number 1 one day. So I would not go JSN. Let's see. Skoronsky from Jay. Paris Johnson from Paul. Kalijah Cansey. I think 9's too early. I like Cansey a lot, but top 10, I don't know. I think you could trade down and get him. Cody says Tyree Wilson. JSN by Claypool. I just don't think they're going to punt on Claypool this early. You just traded for him. I just don't see it happening. Let's see. Jalen Carter. Anything on the O-line. Tyree Wilson. Quentin Johnston. You're not taking Quentin Johnston top 10. Paris Johnson or Tyree Wilson. Any O-line player. Yeah, I mean, Van Ness. A lot of trenches comments, which makes a lot of sense. So we'll have to wait and see. Ooh, I'll have to listen to this later. Adam Schefter just tweeted out that a podcast link of how DJ Moore found out he got traded to the Bears. So may have to go check that out. All right, we'll get to the next one here. If you love the Bears, like this video. Hit the like button. Let's go. Like for Bears dubs. Let's go. Hit that like button. Hit that like button. Let's get to, let's see, what are we at? 500 people watching? We can hit 200 likes.
Yeah, I was going to say, this at least has to be half the amount of people watching has to like the video.
Yeah,
I think that's minimum.
250?
I got to be honest, I don't think we can start the show until we get 250 likes.
Oh, man, Rolly's taking control. I mean, he's just, you heard the man. So, like this video. Let's get to 250 likes. We'll get to the Super Chat, and then we'll have one other question, but we're not starting until we get to 250. Emiliano, he says, appreciate the Super Chat. If you Super Chat, guaranteed to get on the show. Number 1, Skoronsky. Number 2, Carter. Number 3, Johnson Jr. Number 4, Witherspoon. Number 5, Van Ness. So those are his 5 targets with the number 5 pick. Yeah, I do think, Rolly, that corner is the other position. If the Bears don't go trenches at 9, I think corner would be the only other position they would go right now.
I'll say this, is that this is a great draft to need a corner. It is not only deep in the first round, but it is also deep in the second and third round.
Yeah.
I mean, the top 3 corners in this draft being Devin Witherspoon, in whatever order you like, but Devin Witherspoon, Christian Gonzalez, and Joey Porter Jr. are probably as good as a top 3 trio is one position, at least with cornerback, that I've seen in a long time.
And I like Cam Smith and Keely Ringo as well.
Yeah.
You got them. You got
Deontay Banks from Maryland.
Banks is rising up boards. You've got you got some day 2 guys like you mentioned, like Tyreek Stevenson's a really good athlete. So there's like 10 or 12 corners in this draft that could start, I think, as rookies.
I'm kind of in the minority here, but when I look at these corners, my cornerback one is Joey Porter Jr. Not the best athlete, but his physical traits are so crazy.
He's technically
good.
sound too.
I mean, he's got unbelievable hands. He is so good at jamming you. He's got the longest arms in the draft. He has a 99th percentile wingspan. Dude is just going to get his hands on you, not let you break free. And even if he does get beat, he has the arm length to get his hand on the ball and bat it away. I think Joey Porter Jr. is going to be a stud.
Yeah, I'm excited for this corner class, and I wouldn't be shocked at all if the Bears got one. Still need 80 more likes. Got to get to 250. In the meantime, continue to like the video, but also let us know, will the Bears make the playoffs in 2023? Type Y for yes. Type in for no. Will the Bears make the playoffs? Let's get to 250 likes. I'll get some shout-outs for this as well.
Oh, my goodness! What is going on?
He says still waiting for that Facebook response. I don't even know if you messaged me, Robert.
Robert Martinez out of nowhere.
Okay, hang on, Robert. I'm checking now.
Oh, my God.
Did you message me?
Good night.
Goodness gracious. I think we got to do something for that, Rolly. I think I got to do a beer bong.
Yeah, I can go get one for you.
Go get me a Merbonga and a beer? All right. We'll make it happen. So shout out to Rob. Type Robert in the chat. Robert. I'm looking, Robert. Did you message me on my account? Let me see. I don't see any messages, man. What account did you message me on, Robert? Let me know in the chat. What Facebook account? I'm checking my Facebook. I don't see it. I don't see it. Shout out to Robert. He'll also get a sticker on the Justin Fields boot. I just don't have it in here today. But $50 to get on the Justin Fields boot if you guys want that. Dennis says he probably messaged Hannah. Maybe. I don't know. I feel like I would have heard about that by now. Don't need to spam. Trevon, appreciate that. Robert, you got to tell me. You don't need to super chat to tell me, but just comment in the live chat. What account did you message me on? I feel like you told me this, and now I've forgotten, and I feel bad. So, Robert, you didn't need to send me $100 to make that happen. I don't know if you Facebook messaged the Bears page. Let me see.
Well, here's the beer. I still gotta find the Vermont.
Someone may have it. Let's see. I don't know, man. Here we go. I'm checking the Facebook page. Let's see. Robert, you haven't messaged us on the Bears Facebook page. Robert, you got to help me out here, man. Harrison Graham, it's a pic of you and it's my wife, but yeah, that is my... I don't know. I just don't see any new messages. He says he Facebook messaged me, but I don't see his account. Gonna have to be a normal bong? That's fine. All right. Let me check one more time, Robert. But you are a real one. Do you not have Twitter or Instagram? That's what I checked that's what I check way more frequently. What is your account name, Robert?
I can't believe Robert dropped a bomb on us.
I know, he's a legend, but I can't find his message on Facebook. Try messaging me again. Someone says must have him blocked. I don't even check Facebook enough to block anyone.
Yeah, Harrison wouldn't have blocked Robert either.
Absolutely. The last message I've gotten from anyone was May 4th.
You don't have two?
March 4th, sorry. March 4th. So, I don't know. I just don't.
You don't have two Facebook accounts, do you?
No, I do not.
Interesting.
I did message you. It's because we are not. Did you send me a friend request, Robert? Not trying
They're saying accept this friend request.
Okay, Robert. Did you see? I'm telling you, I just don't check Facebook. I mean, this is.
What's up, Marty K?
This is on me. I don't see. How do I search friend requests? Here, Robert, if you're on Facebook right now, ERC Rob says yes I did. How can you check where your friend requests are, Rolly? I don't even know how to use Facebook.
I'm not even on Facebook.
Dude, this is unbelievable.
Let me try to see my Facebook if I even have the app downloaded, which I don't.
If you're on Facebook, Robert, send me a friend request right now, and after this first segment, I will check it again.
What an interesting.
I see a friend request from someone named Tyler, but I don't see one from Robert. In the meantime, I will do this beer bong. Oh my God, it's freezing. There's no warm beers.
I mean, there was, but they were all like case closed, so I didn't want to open.
You didn't want to open a new case. Oh man.
So Harrison's.
I'm gonna do it after this segment since it's a little chilly. I'm gonna do it after this segment. Robert, I don't see it, man. Send me a Facebook, and we'll try to make. Oh, okay, here it is.
Oh, we got it.
I just confirmed it. So message me again, Robert. Right now, since I confirmed it, you may have to remessage me. I will check it after this segment. I don't want to hold up the whole show, though. But Robert, round of applause to Robert. $100 super chat. He's a real one. Like the video. We're already behind, though, so hit that like button, and let's tell you what's coming up here on today's episode of Chicago Bears Now. Let's get to 250 likes as soon as possible. Here's what's coming up on the show. Top free agent targets. There's still plenty of players that the Bears can sign in NFL free agency. Live Q&A, #Bears or Super Chat. to get your questions on the show. Also, subscribe for daily content. We're going to continue to bring you guys the latest Chicago Bears news and rumors. Busy show here on a Tuesday. Let's make it happen. Let's get into it right now. Welcome into Chicago Bears Now. I am Harrison Graham. Coming up on today's show, I'm going to take a look at what I think the 10 best free agents left on the market for the Bears to sign are. You know, for different teams, there'd be different players. Like, obviously, I'm not going to throw Odell Beckham Jr. on this video because the Bears don't really need a receiver of his caliber. So 10 players that I think the Bears could sign still in NFL free agency. We got to spend some time on Yannick Ngakoue. We've talked about it a lot. I'm going to keep talking about it until he signs with the Bears, hopefully, or another franchise. I think he's the best player in all of free agency still available at this point in time. And I continue to be just surprised how this has gone for him. You're talking about a guy that has 8 or more sacks in all 7 years of his career, and I get it. He's not a great run stopper. He's this and that. Someone asked me, maybe he's not a scheme fit. He's been a 4-3 edge for a lot of his career. Like, you would think he fits the bill exactly for what Matt Eberflus and Ryan Poles want. Now, they probably want more complete players, someone who can stop the run as well, but you've signed 2 really good linebackers in Tremaine Edmunds and TJ Edwards to help stop the run. Ngakoue may not be perfect, but you were dead last in sacks last season. Why is he not a Bear yet? Now, maybe he's holding out for some huge contract, but I don't think he's going to get a huge contract at this point. Like, if you can get him for 1 year, $10 million, 2 years, $20 million, like, pull the trigger, Ryan Poles. Like, let's get him in here. He's still only 27 years old, believe it or not. It's not like he's old. It's not like Calais Campbell, who's 37, and for some reason the Falcons are interested. Shout out Ryan Pace, but I just don't understand why Ngakoue remains unsigned. Now, maybe he's remaining patient. It's not necessarily teams, but there just isn't a lot of buzz around this guy. It's just bizarre to me. He's so productive as a pass rusher year in and year out, yet it doesn't seem like he gets compensated for it. Now, should the Bears sign Yannick Ngakoue, type S for sign or P for pass? This is going to be the pinned comment on today's Bears Now YouTube video, so go ahead and reply with an S for sign or a P for pass. Let your voices be heard. Next up on our Bears free agent targets video, another edge rusher, Frank Clark, who remains available in NFL free agency as well, something we've talked about quite a bit here on Bears Now. Frank Clark is a great playoff player. His production was inconsistent in the regular seasons for the Chiefs over the past 4 years. They traded and paid for him, and he didn't really live up to that contract in the regular season, but he more than lived up to it in the playoffs. 10.5 sacks in 12 playoff games. That first year they won the Super Bowl in 2019, he had 5 sacks in that playoff run. He had 2.5 sacks in this past playoff run. He's a triple P, a proven playoff performer. I would like to bring him to Chicago at the right price. I'd rather have Ngakoue, but Frank Clark is available as well. I'll mention Leonard Floyd also when it comes to edge rushers available on the open market. Now, if you want to talk about a scheme misfit, Floyd could be that. He's been more of a 3-4 guy in his career. But you're telling me that a guy who's had 9 or more sacks the last 3 seasons wouldn't be an upgrade over a Travis Gibson or someone like that? I think he would. He's been really good with the Rams since leaving Chicago after the 2019 season. They cut him for salary cap relief, but he's a really good player. Excellent run stopper. He can rush the passer. He can even dip into coverage every now and then if you need him to. He's less of a schematic fit compared to a Yannick Ngakoue, but I would still very much be open to getting Leonard Floyd in Chicago. Let's go to a different position here. Rock Ya-Sin, the free agent cornerback who was a part of a trade for Yannick Ngakoue. He went to Vegas while Ngakoue went to the Colts. I like Rock Ya-Sin. I think he's the best available corner out there. I still think you need a corner. You've got Jalen Johnson, but he's on the last year of his rookie contract. Kyler Gordon came on strong late in the year last year, but he struggled much of last season as a rookie. Plus, they want to keep him in nickel, and if that's the case, then you don't really have that other outside guy, and I think Rock Ya-Sin could fill that void. Kendall Vildor flashed at times last year, but I don't think he's the answer. Josh Blackwell, I like him, but he's got to show a lot of improvement. So, I think a guy like Rock Ya-Sin on a 1 or 2 year deal could make a lot of sense. Maybe the Bears are eyeing the draft for a CB2. We'll have to wait and see. How about Marcus Peters, who we actually have not talked about here on Chicago Bears Now? I wouldn't mind it on a one-year deal. Now, I know the Bears are trying to build with high-character guys, and at times Peters has been considered I don't want to use certain words, but maybe a bit of an issue in locker rooms. Remember, the Chiefs kind of just moved on from him despite him being very productive because he didn't fit in well in that locker room. And I think that's relevant because Ryan Poles was in that front office at the time. But Marcus Peters, for his career, is a guy who can get takeaways. Now, the last 2 years, he hasn't been quite up to that standard. He missed the 2021 season with an ACL. Last year, did some good things, but wasn't great for Baltimore. But you look at 2020, 4 picks in 14 games. 2019, 5 picks in 14 breakups in 16 games. I don't think you're going to get that production, but a CB2 that can gamble a little bit and make plays on the football, I don't mind that at all with Jalen Johnson as your CB1. So on a one-year deal, I would be intrigued. I don't think he's a long-term option, but it kind of helps you get through the 2023 season if you want to go elsewhere in the draft. Now, pick a cornerback. Who would you rather sign? Type RYS for Rock Ya-Sin or type MP for Marcus Peters. Let me know in the comment section down below which cornerback you would rather sign. Let's keep it rolling here. D'Onta Foreman, the defensive tackle who's drawn some interest from various teams in NFL free agency. You bring him in here then as a one-tech. He'd kind of rotate with Andrew Billings, but he gives you some pass rushing ability as a one-tech bowling ball. 3 sacks last year, had 6 tackles for loss, eats up a lot of blocks, and it's just a grinder. I mean, he's just a work horse there in the middle of that defensive line. Again, I just mentioned it. They did sign Andrew Billings, but you certainly need a lot more on this defensive line, right? Both at edge and at defensive tackle. You've got Justin Jones in there as well. I think he'll be here this season. I don't think they'll cut him. But you sign D'Onta Foreman, you go Billings and Ford rotation at nose tech, at that nose one tech spot. And then, maybe you draft a guy to play 3 tech and Justin Jones becomes a backup as well. I think that certainly could make some sense. Obviously, DeMarcus Walker is going to play some 3 tech too, but you still need bodies on that defensive line. And D'Onta Foreman's a player I would heavily be interested in. Now, subscribe today to Chicago Bears Now for the latest news, rumors, live streams every Tuesday, and when big news drops, more coverage as well, Q&A sessions, free agency buzz, draft coverage. We got it all here on the channel, youtube.com/BearsNow. Let's get to 64,000 subs as soon as possible. Isaiah Wynn, as we stay in the trenches but flip sides of the football here. We talked about this a few days ago. I'll talk about it again. I expect the Bears to draft an offensive tackle. But you look at this depth chart right now, I think it's a bit of a dangerous game if you don't at least bring a tackle in here before the draft just to have an option depending on how the draft plays out. Because, look, I do think the Bears will draft an offensive tackle. I do. But Isaiah Wynn is good insurance. He's a guy who can start at right tackle if you need him to. And if you draft a guy that's better, he's your swing tackle. I don't think you're going to have to break the bank for Isaiah Wynn. I think you can get him for $5 million on a one-year deal, and that can be starter or swing tackle money. So we'll see if that is in the cards for Chicago, but he is definitely a name I would watch. We'll pair Donovan Smith and Cam Fleming together here as they kind of fit the same mold. Smith is a more proven player over a long period of time, but he certainly didn't play that well this past year. He's more of a left tackle, too. Are you moving Braxton Jones to right for Donovan Smith? I don't know. Cam Fleming, the past couple of years, has actually had 2 of the better years of his career. I think this is more of the, cheap vet option of okay, if the guy you draft isn't ready, Cam Fleming can play. If not, he's a versatile backup that can play either tackle spot, could even kick inside for guard. A good OL6, OL7 type for a team. I think that's kind of the type of player getting there. Stopgap option as a starter if you need him to be, so keep that in mind as well. Now, pick an offensive tackle. Who would you rather have on this O-line? Type IW for Isaiah Wynn, DS for Donovan Smith, or CF for Cam Fleming. Let us know in the comment section down below. And then a player we talked about on Monday, and that's Jadeveon Clowney, the edge rusher who is a free agent for a 5th straight season. Obviously was with the Browns this past year. Didn't have a great year. There seemed to be some tension between Clowney and the Browns by the end of the season, and they kind of just decided to break that off. But a guy who historically has been a great run stopper, at times a good pass rusher, If you want a more complete edge compared to Yannick Ngakoue, I think Clowney's probably a little bit more complete, but Ngakoue is going to get more pressure and get more sacks than Clowney would get, so take that for what it's worth. I would still rather go Ngakoue, but I certainly wouldn't be mad if Clowney was the answer either, because he would certainly help this defensive line out. What do you guys think? Who should the Bears sign next in NFL free agency? Drop a name down in the comment section below. For me, I'd like to say Yannick Ngakoue, but we'll see how things play out. Who do you guys think the Bears should sign next? Be sure to follow me on social media at HGramNFL on Twitter. Same handle on Instagram. It's at HGramNFL. If you've got any free agency questions or thoughts or mock drafts, whatever you want to send my way, hit me up at HGramNFL. All right, mailbag coming up in a minute. Hashtag Bears or Super Chat. Let me see if my guy Robert sent me a DM. All right, he did. Here we go. What's up, Robert? Okay, Robert, I'm seeing your message. I will have to pass you along to my bosses. I can send you their email, so I will do that. I will do that after the show, so I see you typing right here. So if I don't do it, like say an hour after the show ends, message me again, and I will pass along an email that you can reach out to, and they will take care of that or reach out to you about that question. Appreciate it. Appreciate the $10 from Pima Enterprises. Gosh, this is still cold, Rolly. This is, I'll tell you what.
You might have to just power through.
I think, yeah, you know what? You're absolutely right. And the reason you're right is because you did so last week on multiple occasions.
I did. A couple times that I did not come prepared, and I had to do a beer bong / shot fun with an ice cold beer and / Happy Dad, and that's not fun.
Look, I got to be honest. I didn't come prepared today. In my defense, I had a baby appointment with my wife, but I didn't really put any Super Chat ideas together. Then here comes Robert. He's like, hey.
Robert says we don't need any ideas. Let's party.
We're just partying. So fill this thing up. Pima Enterprises, shout out for the 10. Remember, all $50 Super Chats or more will get on the Justin Fields boot. So I will get Robert another sticker on there. And we're about to take this down, man. This is going to be interesting. We caught up on soups, Rolly?
No, we got a couple more.
Couple more. All right.
I'll just flash Roberts while you do this. We'll go over the two soups, and then we'll hopefully get into a mailbag.
All right, here we go. Who knows what's
Come on, type those chugs. Type those chugs. Let's go. Let's go. Come on, Harrison. Oh, he's doing good. Oh, he downed it. There's a lot of foam in that piece. A lot of foam. A lot of foam. A lot of foam.
Easy money, though.
That was a foamy one.
I'm not going to lie. I might be back. I might be back on the chug game. Let's go.
Oh, that's funny. As Adam says $5, weird Matt doesn't want Rock. I assume he's talking about Rocky
Sin.
Considering he was the DC and Indy when
That's
he was
true.
starting corner.
I haven't really talked about that connection much. That is interesting. That doesn't mean we should be clear though. That just because he hasn't signed here doesn't mean Flus isn't interested. It just means he hasn't signed anywhere yet. But that is an interesting, interesting thought. Go sell a brick. I don't have any bricks to sell. Chicago versus everybody F. Don Burr. That's good stuff. Brandon Shepard with the 10. Shout out Brandon Shepard. Ben says fill it up again. Listen, $100. That's the standard for Robert. So I gotta honor his price. So that's what we were doing last week. Listen, I didn't really come prepared to drink, but for $100, we'll fill up some more. All right, hashtag Bears or Super Chat. It is a mailbag time here on
Caden,
Chicago
I
Bears
see your
Now.
question. That will be on the mailbag. So if you want to get your question for sure on the mailbag, make sure you Super Chat. Adam, that yours will be on there as well.
Yeah, Super Chat's a guarantee to make the mailbag or hashtag Bears. We'll get to as many of those as we can, but the only promises we can guarantee are the Super Chats themselves. So Mailbag coming up on deck here at Chicago Bears Now. Appreciate the real ones. We're actually going to do 2 mailbags here, so plenty of time to get your question in. Hashtag Bears or Super Chat. Shout out to the 250 people watching live here on the channel. You guys are absolute real ones, so appreciate that. All right, let's jump into this mailbag video here on Bears Now. Before we jump into our Chicago Bears mailbag video, how many of you guys love the NFL draft? Because if you do, we launched a draft channel during the NFL Combine. It's youtube.com/chatNFL. We're almost at 3,000 subscribers. Can we get over the top? I know Bears fans will help deliver. If you love the draft and if you're excited for April's NFL draft, go subscribe to our draft channel. We're about to crank up our coverage over there. Once we cross 3,000 subs, you'll see me from time to time. You'll see some Bears draft coverage from time to time. So it's going to be a lot of fun. youtube.com/chatNFL. Come join the movement over on our draft channel. It is mailbag time here on Chicago Bears Now. I am Harrison Graham, and if you have a question, use hashtag Bears, or you can super chat. If you super chat, that is a guarantee to get your question on the show. From Emiliano, these are his top 5 draft targets, it would appear. At number 9, Peter Skoronski, Jalen Carter, Paris Johnson Jr., Devin Witherspoon, and Lucas Van Ness. If I had to rank these, I would go 1A, 1B, Johnson and Skoronski, 3 Carter, 4 Witherspoon, and 5 Van Ness, I think. You could flip Van Ness and Witherspoon because Van Ness is a bigger need. I think Witherspoon's a better overall prospect, but I think all those players could be in play at 9. I think a couple of them could be in play in trade-down scenarios as well. Adam, weird. Matt Eberflus, I think you mean, doesn't want Rock Ya-Sin, I think you mean as well, considering he was his DC in Indy when he was the starting corner. Yet it doesn't mean he doesn't want Rock Ya-Sin. It just means they haven't signed him yet, or Rock Ya-Sin just hasn't signed anywhere yet. So that doesn't mean mutual interest couldn't exist. Maybe the Bears want to wait to potentially sign another corner until after the draft. Maybe they like this draft class. So it's hard to know for sure, but I would like Rock Ya-Sin. I think he's a starting caliber corner in this league and could be CB2 with Kyler Gordon in the slot. From Caden Gunvaldson, shout out to you for the super chat. If you can only extend one, is it Darnell Mooney or Jalen Johnson? That's a really good question. Probably Johnson, because you've got DJ Moore under contract for 3 more years. You got Claypool. I like Mooney better than Claypool right now, but you do have Claypool who's eligible for an extension. If I had to pick one, I think I'd go Johnson, but I'd like to extend both. I think Mooney and Jalen Johnson are 2 players I would give second contracts to. The Bears, hashtag Bears. If Tyree Wilson, Jalen Carter, Peter Skoronski, and Paris Johnson Jr. is very similar to our first question, are there at number 9, who are you taking? Well, I kind of ranked out, how I would order them based on the guy's question before, but let's just flip the question around to you guys. Like, who would you take if these 4 players are available? Paris Johnson, Tyree Wilson, Peter Skoronski, Jalen Carter. If you want Paris Johnson Jr., type PJ. If you want Peter Skoronski, type PS. If you want Tyree Wilson, type TW. If you want Jalen Carter, type JC. If you could pick one guy to draft, who is it? Let me know in the comments. Let's go to Gary here. Sign Detroit's running back or draft a running back? If you're talking about Jamal Williams, he is signed with the Saints. And 2, I don't think you need a running back. You have Khalil Herbert, D'Onta Foreman, Travis Homer, and Treston Ebner. Now, I don't know if Ebner's really in their plans for this year, so you could still draft a 4th guy late. But, you almost don't really need a 4th back. They'll probably just keep Ebner through camp and then throw him on the practice squad. So it's very possible the Bears are set. Now, if they love someone in the draft and he falls to the 4th or 5th round, they just think the value's too good, yeah, that could change things. But as far as Jamal Williams goes, he's a Saint. Super chat from Brandon Edwood. Appreciate all the donations. You guys are the best. Would you trade back for a later first and early second to get an O-line and Jahmyr Gibbs? Again, I think with the Foreman signing, you don't have to force running back early. You've got 3 backs that can play. I think Herbert and Foreman is a real 1-2 punch. Like, that's not like chop deliver. That's a real 1-2 combination. And I think Homer's a RB3 scat back special teams guy. It's very possible the running back room that's already in place is the one we see in week 1 next year. So I don't think they'll take it back in the 2nd round. So, yeah, that's kind of where I'm at with that situation. From Joel O'Connell, it's been a while. You are a legend here at Chicago Bears Now. Appreciate the donation, my friend. He says, what up, Harrison, Hannah, and Rolly? Hope all is well. If it's a boy, it is a boy. And we do have a name, but it's not Charles or Joel. But Joel, don't worry, you're a legend. I'm happy for the 2023 season, and let's go Bears. Can we get a bear down for Joel O'Connell? I mean, let's make it happen. Get the bear downs going in the chat for Joel O'Connell. He was kind of the OG big super chatter before Sealand jumped in line next. But Joel O'Connell, he's an absolute legend here at the channel. Antonio Hyde, should we boo Montgomery for picking the Lions? No, I mean, he's got to take care of himself, man. Like, if the Bears weren't going to pay him $6 million a year, I can't really blame him for leaving. Now, look, I'll be honest. You got D'Onta Foreman for 1 year, $3 million, who's he's a very capable player. So I think it worked out for both sides. I love Monty. I love what he brought to this team. But, if the Lions were willing to give him the most competitive contract, we can't blame him. That's what he's got to do. I'll always like Monty. I won't cheer for him when he plays the Bears, but otherwise, I wish him good health and nothing but the best. All right, guys, we are closing in on 64,000 subscribers. We are just over 300 away. Can we get there? Let's get to 64K. I'll tell you what. We could do another fan-led mock draft when we get to 65,000 subscribers. So, hey, we'll make it happen. Rolly and I will make it happen once again. Let's get to 65K, and to do that, we got to get to 64 first. Daily videos, news, rumors, draft, free agency. We do it all. Hit that sub button. Pima Enterprises, are you not annoyed/tilted that Aaron Rodgers, like that spelling there, is leaving Green Bay? This was the year that the Bears go 2-0 versus Rodgers. Agree, disagree? I mean, honestly, Pima, I just want it to be over, whatever it is. I was hoping he would just retire and we never heard from the guy again. Now that won't happen because he just can't stay out of the spotlight. But look, this guy's terrorized the Bears for 2 decades. Like, I don't really care. Like, him going to the Jets is fine with me. I'm fine with him out of the NFC North, and bring on Jordan Love because the Packers are due for some bad quarterback play. From Jay, better fit for the Bears, Clark or Ngakoue? Clark's probably a slightly better run defender, but he's not a great one. Ngakoue is a better pass rusher. I would go Ngakoue because you need sack production. You had 20 sacks last year, and rookie strong safety Jaquan Brisker led the team with 4. That's a joke. Like, that can't happen. Ngakoue is going to give you at least 8 based on his career. He's had 8 or more in all 7 years of his career. So I would bring him in here. 1-2-year deal. Let's make it happen. From Henry Forte, who is someone that you want the Bears to draft in the second round that has a high-level ceiling in the 2023 NFL draft? Second-round guys that I like. John Michael Schmitz, center out of Minnesota. I don't think he's going to – based on recent talk, it doesn't sound like he's going to fall to round 2, but I'll still mention him. Adetomiwa Adebaware out of Northwestern. He's an athletic freak, but Mel Kiper said he's going top 15. Now, Kiper – might be a little washed, but if he's saying top 15, then round 1 is very possible for Adebaware. So I like him. Other round 2 guys, Anton Harrison out of Oklahoma, the offensive tackle. If he falls there, Jalen Duncan out of Maryland is an intriguing name. I'm trying to think of other defensive linemen. And Brian Bresee could fall to round 2. I think his stock is dropping, so maybe he's a name to monitor. So those are a few guys that I would keep an eye on there. William Bomer, would you pick at number 9 Jackson Smith and Jigba or Bijan Robinson, you mean? It's possible the front office might pick one of these guys. Sure, it's possible. I think it's unlikely, though. They're pretty loaded at back and receiver at this point. So, look, both those guys would help those position groups, but you just need a trenches player. You need an anchor on your offensive or defensive line. So, if it's not O-line or D-line, I think it would be corner. But I don't think at this point it would be JSN or Bijan Robinson. What do you guys think, though? Who should the Bears sign next in NFL free agency? Is there someone that I'm missing? Let me know in the comment section below. Who should Chicago sign next in NFL free agency? A few more here. Marty K. Bears are done with big signings. Few small to mid 1-year contracts, and Poles is done, focusing on the draft, rolling cap over for next year. Yeah, I think there's some truth to that, but they still have to reach the cap floor, which they're not there yet. So I could see one more splash. I think Ngakoue would qualify for that. So could see it happening. Maybe another trade happens. Who knows? But with $40 million in cap space, I definitely think more moves could happen. Nicholas Selvey, Adam Rank thinks the Bears should pass on Paris Johnson if he's the best player available and trade down. I disagree. I think he's the best tackle in the draft. Yeah, I'm perfectly fine with Johnson at 9. I'm also cool with trading down at 9. So I think he's got the athletic profile the Bears like the most. There might be slightly more boom bust there compared to Skoronski. Maybe Skoronski's the safer option, but I wouldn't just completely dismiss drafting Paris Johnson at number 9. Corey Harvey, since free agency has dried up, would you be interested in Shaq Leonard or other superstar trench players would you target? Well, Shaq Leonard is an off-ball linebacker, and you're good there. You signed Tremaine Edmunds and TJ Edwards. They're not going to get another high-level off-ball linebacker. Trench players I would target in a trade. I mean, is a guy like Danielle Hunter available? But I don't think the Vikings are going to trade within the division. I don't think the Bucs are going to trade Vita Vea. I just don't think there's a lot of big-name trench guys is available right now, to be honest. Maybe Jeffrey Simmons is, though. The Titans have been unloading. DeForest Buckner could be another one. But, I mean, maybe you trade down from 9 to 11, get Simmons and send them a second. That'd be an interesting idea. Trade 61 or 64 to Tennessee, move down to 11 for Simmons. Wouldn't be opposed. He'd fill that 3-tech role really nicely. Joe, sports fan, if the Panthers make the playoffs in 2023, does that change the Bears' grade on trading number 1? I mean, it changes the outcome a bit, but, like, when you make that trade, you can't control what the other team does, right? So, yeah, I mean, obviously, your favorite team next year should be the Bears 1, 2, whoever Carolina plays every week. So, yeah, obviously we want the Panthers to stink. But, you know, they've made a lot of moves. They're trying to win the NFC South, I would say, and that division's wide open. So if they make the playoffs, they make the playoffs. It is what it is. But you just got to live with that outcome. Be sure to follow me on social media. It's at HGramNFL on Instagram. Same handle on Twitter, at HGramNFL. If you got any Bears questions, NFL, other stuff, I'm pretty much an open book. So hit me up over there. It is at HGramNFL. All right, let's get some shout-outs here. Who should the Bears sign next in NFL free agency? And then we will get to one more signing here. Rolly, I'm going to bring you back on. What did you think of Damien Harris to the Bills? I meant to ask you about this. Not surprised.
What a traitor. Listen, Harrison is very nice to David Montgomery, saying, "Oh, I'm still going to root for David Montgomery. He has to do what is best for him."
He
going
got
to
$6
his rival.
million a year, man. Like,
my team, my player. You want to come in.
It's easier when you get D'Onta Foreman for $3 million.
Listen, all I'm going to say is to come in, you preach how much you love being a Patriot. You go to battle with these interdivision rivals every week or every year, 2 times a year. And the next thing you know, you're on him, and then you tweet out, "Let's go Buffalo" with the red and blue heart emojis, and then the hashtag "Let's work." Like, that's not cool with me. Listen, I'm like, how do you? And I get it. You gotta do what's best with you. If it was his only offer, I get it.
He only got $1.7 million.
But like, I don't know, man. How can rivalries be a thing in the NFL/NBA if you're just okay going to your biggest rival?
This is why I will always say college rivalries are so much more significant than NFL or professional sports.
Yeah.
It's a business at the end of the day. So, listen, man. Hey, Ramondre Stevenson's better anyway.
Oh, Ramondre Stevenson's unbelievably good.
Laura says Yannick Ngakoue, by the way. But he's got to be a Bear. Ngakoue's got to be a Bear.
Why isn't he a Bear?
It's got to happen. It's got to happen. Come on. Come on. Come on, Poles. Let's go. I know you're focused on the draft. Let's get Ngakoue, though. Get Ngakoue. I won't ask for anything else in free agency.
Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt. His attempts at writing cursive are hysterical.
Who, Rolly?
Oh, you looking at my
By the way,
notebook?
buckle up for
So many
who are our
characters.
two. We still got to ship out the helmets.
Yeah.
Buckle up for Rolly's signature. I mean, this
you're
is
gonna
an
see-
experience of a lifetime.
You're gonna see a good signature because I'm gonna be practicing.
You've been practicing, all
I'm
right?
gonna start practicing.
Well, you better.
It looks like a preschooler.
Rolly,
Well, because I
Rolly
haven't
writes
wrote-
is it's a tough scene.
I haven't learned, or I learned cursive when I was in 2nd grade, and I haven't touched.
I will
cursive
say
since.
this: the fact that why even teach cursive anymore? When would you
They
ever
taught
write
me,
in cursive?
They taught me when I was like 7 years old, and then never brought it up again. What do you want me to do?
Honestly, they shouldn't even teach it. They should just teach you how to
Yeah.
write. They should just teach you how to write a signature. You don't need to learn the full
Yeah.
alphabet. Just
Well,
learn the
I
signature.
will be honest. I do have a semi-signature that I kind of have down, but I don't do it enough. Like,
Yeah, it's a work in progress.
oh,
Wasim, 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 Wasim. Let's go, Wasim Khan. He says, take Paris Johnson. And do you think Siaki Ika will be available in the 3rd round? He might, because he's more of a one-tech, so he's not going to give you like crazy numbers. I'd be interested in him at round 3. Is 64 too early? I don't know if it is. I think at 64 he could be in that range. So he's a good run stuffer, bowling ball type. So yeah, Wasim, you'll get another sticker on the Fields boot. Shout out to you. I'll tell you what, Wasim, if someone matches your 50, I'll do another beer bong. I think that's only fair. If someone matches Wasim's 50, or if Wasim just does it himself, we will do another beer bong.
Also say this, Laura/Wyatt. If you want to get your questions in, make sure you can either super chat like Wasim or get #Bears.
It can't be #Space Bears.
The Bears, the B and the hashtag have to be next to each other.
Yep.
That's how we pick up on our software. That's how we can get on screen for
Yeah,
you
if
guys.
there's a space in there, the
Just make sure you do
software
that.
doesn't recognize it. So
We do need a lot more
#Bears.
questions. I tell you what, Harrison, if we try to do another mailbag as things currently stand, I don't think we'd be able to make it 5 minutes.
Oh man.
So-
Rolly's saying we may have to call it quits early.
I'm just going to say this, is that there's not a lot of good questions out there. Or not even good
Ooh.
questions. Not even questions.
Robert
Martinez says drink.
Robert. Let's go. Robert Martinez, the MVP of today's show. Shout out Robert Martinez. All right, Rolly, while they're loading up some questions, I guess go fetch me another beer, and after this mailbag, I'll do another beer bong. We'll make this happen. Shout out to Robert Martinez, as he's a real one here. Robert Martinez is a real one indeed. Shout out to him. Shout out to Robert Martinez. Let's go. Let's go. Robert Martinez, a legend here at Chicago Bears now. Oh, man. That's pretty poor shadow work by ESPN right now. Get Rossini a ring light. Let's go.
I always love when Schefter, Rossini, Rappaport.
Oh,
Ron!
If Ron, now if someone matches Ron with another 50,
I'll have to do it.
Rolly will have to do a shot fun. This works, yeah.
Ron Winarski.
Let's go. He says, what do you think about the Bears free agency? I like it so far. You want to flash the Bears tracker? Do we have that available?
I don't know.
Or is that deleted?
Wyatt/Laura.
You're still doing
it wrong.
Space Bears.
You need the B next to the hashtag. Like
Laura also says,
space.
can you call me Wyatt?
So I'm
Wyatt, we got you. But you got to do #Bears all one word. It can't be #Space Bears. It's got to be #Bears like Michael just did in the chat. So if someone now matches Ron with the 50, Rolly will have to do a shot fun. So let's go. Rolly's he's a little nervous. Oh, luminous! 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 Let's go! Luminous!
Oh, man. then.
All right, Rolly.
We'll do it.
We need another beer. So let's get one more mailbag in here.
And then we'll close
And then
out the show.
Then we'll do some more drinking. We'll do some more drinking. Let's go. Shout out to the real ones. Hashtag Bears or Super Chat to get your questions on the show. Hashtag Bears or Super Chat. And we will get to as many of your questions as we possibly can. And then we'll do some drinking after this last mailbag. So, hashtag Bears. By the way, we're at $377 in Super Chats. If we get to 500 total, 123 away, 100 total, I will add another beer bong on my plate. So, throwing that into the universe. If we reach 500 total, we'll do another beer bong. So, there you go. Rolly's going to get a beer. Ooh, a Yannick Ngakoue tweet from Jordan Schultz. He says, Yannick Ngakoue is an elite pass rusher still on the market. Since entering the league in 2016, he has the 5th most forced fumbles and ranks 6th in sacks. He's also the 5th player ever to record 8+ sacks in 7 of his first 9 seasons. Well, he's done it in all 7 seasons. Only 27 years old as well. Get Yannick Ngakoue to Chicago. I'm quote tweeting this with "He's a Bear." I'm quote tweeting this with "He's a Bear." Jordan Schultz just did a Yannick Ngakoue tweet. He's a Bear. Come on. They're just talking about like his career arc and everything. He's a Bear. He is a Bear. All right, Rolly just got a beer for himself. I also promised the people if we get to 500, I'll add another beer bong. 500 total. We're 120 away. It's doable. That's doable. All right, here we go. Hashtag Bears or Super Chat. Oh, 20 from Christian. They want that 500.
Listen, it might be in the works. It's only 98 away now.
It's doable. It's very, very doable. All right, hashtag Bears Super Chat. We'll get your questions on the show and make it happen. Oh, John Dorman. John Dorman. Things are getting wild. We're 50 away from 500. 50 away. If we get to 500, it's another beer bong for your boys. So here we go. Perfect time to start a mailbag. We'll hit all those we'll hit the new Super Chats, and then we'll take some hashtag Bears questions to this right though. If you want to get on the show, Super Chat's your best bet. Let's get into it. Producer Rolly and I are ready to rock and roll. Bears Now coming at you here on the channel. Appreciate everybody for hanging out. On today's show, we're going to take your questions. So use hashtag Bears or Super Chat on today's mailbag. If you Super Chat, best chance to get on the show, but also we'll get to a few hashtag Bears questions as well. Shout out Wasim Khan with the $50 Super Chat. He says, take Paris Johnson Jr., and do you think Siaki Ika will be available in the 3rd round? I think the 3rd round sounds right. Now, the Bears have the first pick of the 3rd round, number 64 overall. Is that a tick early? Maybe some mocks have him going round 2. I would probably wait till the 3rd personally because I think you need more pass rushing defensive linemen. But Ika's a good player, and he could be a long-time one-tech defensive tackle for this team. Ron Winarski with the 50 as well. What do you think about the Bears free agency? I like the moves. I think the Edmunds and Edwards pairing at linebacker is going to really make this linebacker group solid. I like some of the value signings. I like P.J. Walker as a backup quarterback. I love Robert Tonyan and D'Onta Foreman as extra weapons on offense. So I like what this team has done. Nate Davis is going to help this offensive line. You get DeMarcus Walker. Now it's about more moves for Ryan Poles. Munchin on you with a 10. Who gets the most yards next season? DJ Moore, Darnell Mooney, or Chase Claypool? I think it's CJ Moore. You brought him in here to be your number 1. I think the better question is Mooney or Claypool, who establishes themselves as that number 2 guy? I think Mooney has the edge because he's got that chemistry already with Justin Fields, but, you know, Claypool has a full offseason to become that guy as well. So excited to see it play out, but I think Mooney, I would go in that order right now in terms of production at receiver if I had to guess. Christian Sitsanas, is it me or does Ryan Poles seem cheap? I mean, a lot of small contracts except for Edmunds, passed on a couple of offensive tackle and defensive linemen that were not paid a ton, and we could have used no extensions for Komet or Johnson. Well, first of all, extensions could still happen. They're under contract, so that doesn't mean that's not going to happen. I personally am glad they didn't give Mike McGlinchey $17.5 million per year. Now, I've said it. I think Mike McGlinchey, 3 years, $34.5 million, I probably would have paid that. I might have gone 3 years, $35, 3 years, $40 million to secure him at right tackle, but they may love someone in this draft. And they said, you know what, we're gonna focus on that. I wouldn't say cheap. I would say value. I mean, he gave Tremaine Edmunds $18 million a year. He's willing to spend money for the right player. He's just not going to force it for a guy he doesn't think is worth it. And I think that's good. I don't think you should throw out reckless contracts when you're a rebuilding team. You got to be patient, pick the spots that you like, and then continue to build from there. From Justin Fields Truther, I love it. Predict Justin Fields stats in 2023. Obviously, what we all hope is that the passing efficiency and volume goes up. Can you get the completion percentage to the mid-60s? Obviously, he jumped above 60 last year. That was a good improvement. Let's get that to 63, 64 plus. Get the passing yards into, at least low mid-3,000s. We know he's going to be able to scramble. Ideally, he doesn't run for 1,100 yards, though. I think like an ideal split is like throw for somewhere between 35 and 4,000 yards and run for like 800. Like if he does that, you're talking about a massive leap. Like a massive leap for Justin Fields. So I would love to see him be in the mid-3,000s passing, 700 to 800 rushing, and then 20-plus passing touchdowns. I'd say, around 23 to 25, and then, similar rushing TDs. Like if he could have 30 total touchdowns compared to 25 this year and add, 800 more all-purpose yards, I think that would be a giant leap for Justin Fields. Predict Justin Fields stats in 2023. I kind of threw some numbers out there. Let me know what you guys think his stat line could be. You can throw in total, yards, passing, rushing, touchdowns, whatever you feel like dropping in there. Predict his stats down in the comments. John Dorman with another 50. Shout out, John. He says, I think we should be out on Carter. He doesn't fit the mold. I get he has gone through a lot lately, but he doesn't seem to fit the mold of loving ball. Yeah, listen, if you don't love ball, you probably can't be a Bear. I mean, that's just the reality. Poles and Eberflus they're on the record for saying we want guys that love to play football. And if they have any hesitation at all about Jalen Carter in that regard, they won't draft him. I really don't think so. So they're going to bring him in for a draft visit. We'll get to know the kid better, and they'll make a decision as to whether or not he's draftable for them. So we'll see how that top 30 visit goes. Today's show is sponsored by Athletic Greens. Something that's going to help you feel better on a daily basis is Athletic Greens. athleticgreens.com/chatsports. I started taking AG1 a few months back, and I've never felt better. Got me through the end of football season. My energy level has been very high since the start of free agency, and that's all thanks to Athletic Greens. Not only is AG1 getting me back into good habits, I'm seeing better digestion as well. Improving my gut health is something that I've tried to prioritize in 2023, and AG1 is helping me do that with the simple scoop every day. Covering my nutritional basis for the day literally could not be easier, which is why I trust Athletic Greens. I just mix one small scoop of AG1 with water and shake it up, drink it first thing in the morning, just like you just saw, shaking it up on screen there. That easy. I also like that it costs less than $3 per day. Very cost efficient if you ask me. It's a really effective daily habit with the highest quality sourced ingredients, a true win-win. If a comprehensive solution is what you need from your supplement routine, then Athletic Greens is giving you a free 1-year supply of vitamin D and 5 free travel packs with your first purchase. So go to athleticgreens.com/chatsports. That is athleticgreens.com/chatsports. Check the link in the comments and in the description. Promote your gut health, support your immunity, and increase your energy level. It's athleticgreens.com/chatsports. All right, keep it rolling here. Daily basis, what was your favorite Bears game last year? Why was it Monday Night Football against the Patriots? Also, cornerback is a premium position, so would you be upset if we drafted one at 9? I wouldn't be upset, especially if it's a clear best player available situation, because you still just have to build the overall roster. But if you're going to take a corner at 9, you better hit, because you have bigger needs right now. So that's what I would say. In terms of the most fun win last year, I would say either week 1 in the monsoon against the 49ers that they won, or that Monday night game against the Patriots that held off Bill Belichick from passing George Halas and Wentz for at least one more week. So That was a fun game as well, and that was also producer Rolly's favorite game of the year last year. So be sure to DM him on social media at Nick_Roloff. Sangray Kim, Boston's going to prove to be a bust. #draft Caleb. Sangray, I know you've never been a Fields guy, but you know what? I really hope that a year from now you're eating crow. And if you're not, hey, kudos to you. But I have a feeling you will be. Time will tell. Daryl Gibson, do you think teams will be forced to play zone to contain Fields? That's why JSN would be a great pick for Fields. Agree. Yeah, I mean, if you play a lot of man and run a lot of downfield concepts, then if he breaks contain, he can just take off. So, we'll see. Obviously, playing man against DJ Moore, Darnell Mooney, and Chase Claypool is going to be a challenging concept for other teams. So, I don't think teams are going to change their principles necessarily. But, yeah, I think playing man against this wide receiver room all of a sudden could lead to some problems for other teams. Colson Laporta, how many defensive linemen do we need and how many O-linemen do we need? Can we go to a playoff contender this year? What do you mean by playoff contender? Like a team competing for a playoff spot or a team that could do damage in the playoffs? Because I think this team could compete for a playoff spot and even sneak in. Do I think this team could make such a leap that they're going to win 12, 13 games and be a team that can make the NFC Championship game? That feels like a stretch. The only reason I wouldn't completely rule it out is the NFC is wide open. I mean, it really is. I mean, the defending NFC champs, Philadelphia Eagles, have lost a ton of players in free agency. I don't know who the favorite to win the NFC is right now. Maybe still Philly? Is it Dallas? San Francisco? We don't know who's going to play quarterback. So I think this team can for sure fight for a playoff spot. Do damage in the playoffs? I got to see a lot more for that to be the case. Subscribe to Bears Now if you want more mailbags like this one. We got you covered. We also hit you on the latest Chicago Bears news and rumors, live streams, and much more. So hit that sub button and stay in the know on the Bears. Andre Carter or Keanu Benton? I assume you mean in the second round, third round somewhere. Both are good. Both have flaws. I think Carter's ceiling is higher, but he was better in 2021 than he was in 2022. Benton, I think, is an intriguing three-tech option that could potentially start as a rookie. So, I don't know. It depends what the Bears do at defensive line between now and the draft, to be honest. Young King Music, how will we stack up in the North? It's hard to answer that question today. As weird as it sounds, I would actually make the Lions the favorites right now. And then I think 2 through 4 could go in any way. I do think the Packers could hit a real reality check if Jordan Love isn't the guy. If he's not good, then I think they bring up the rear. I really do. If he is decent enough, then they still have a talented enough roster. They could be a wild card team. I think Minnesota's a prime regression team. They're still talented. Obviously, Kirk Cousins, we love to make jokes about him, but he's solid. Justin Jefferson's really good. So, I don't know. I think it's a wide-open division. I would make Detroit the favorites. Ask me this question after the NFL draft. That's when I want to get asked. From Arthur Smith, do you think we lost the trade with Claypool? Because people say that, but I think so. I think he's definitely going to step it up this year. Keep up the good work, bear down. First of all, type bear down for Arthur. Look, up to this point, Pittsburgh, on paper, has won the trade. They got the first pick in the second round for Claypool. That's great for them. But if Claypool comes out this year and has a great year, then it's a win-win. Pittsburgh gets a good draft pick, and the Bears get a good receiver that they're probably going to extend. So let's see how the year plays out. If he stinks this year, yeah, you lost the trade. It happens. Sucks. You took a gamble, tried to get Fields another weapon. Sometimes it doesn't work out. So let's see how this year plays out. But look, if Claypool has a great year, then I think it's a win-win for both parties. Can I get a bear down in the comments? Arthur brought it up. Shout out to him. He's a real one. Get the bear downs going, whether it's text or emojis. Let's keep up the good vibes. Latrell Fitzpatrick Harrison, do you think the Bears will draft Christian Gonzalez over Paris Johnson Jr. at 9? I would be surprised by that. Polls would just have to have Gonzalez notably higher on his draft board. He would have to be like a top 5-6 prospect, and Johnson would have to be outside the top 10, I would think. Now, maybe Poles is still purely going to stick to his board. He might do that because this team has enough holes in it. But that would surprise me, but I wouldn't rule it out. Gonzalez is a freak athlete that is got good coverage skills, man. Shout out Jake, and that helmet's going to be coming your way soon, my friend. He says, what do you think about SMU wide receiver Rashee Rice with the second-round pick? I think he would be a perfect number 4 receiver. I don't disagree, Jake. The only thing I would say is, do you draft number 4 receivers in the second round? I think the answer is no. Had you not gotten DJ Moore, Rashee Rice in the second or third, I think could be intriguing, but I don't want to draft a backup in the second round. Like, to me, the number 9 pick and your 3 picks at 53, 61, and 64, you should be striving to get starters. Now, they may not all start. They got to compete and earn that, but I think you're hoping to get 4 starters there, assuming you don't trade any of those picks. Appreciate all the questions from the real ones here on Bears Now. You can ask more questions if we didn't get to your question at HGramNFL on Twitter. It's also at HGramNFL on Instagram. Hit me up with more Bears questions over there if we were unable to answer them here. All right, let's get a bear down in the comments. And by the way, we're $21 away from 500. So if we get there, I'm going to owe 2 beer bongs. I already owe 1. Rolly already owes a shot fund. So we're trying to make this happen here. I think they're going to make it happen, Rolly. I think we're getting to 500.
It does seem like $20 away. I feel like someone's just going to hit that striking distance number.
Listen, we got 650 people watching. If 21 people send in $1, we're good. We got to drink another beer. Shout out to Scott, Nicole, Richard. We got, let's see here. Amonra. Yeah, I don't think we'll do it. Yeah. TJ. Daryl. Marty K with the 20.
K throws the dagger in it.
We're technically at $4.99.88. We'll count it, but if someone wants to make it legit, just need a $1 super chat.
I'll go get another beer.
All right. Rolly's going to fetch another beer. I'm going to do this first one in the meantime, and then Rolly and I can race for the finale. Let's go. Shout out to Marty K. Troy says, how much do y'all need? Well, we don't need anything, but to technically cross 500, we just need $1. So we're at $4.98 and some cents here. $4.99 and some cents. Shout out Marty K. He's a legend. He is a legend here. Ah, there it is. Few people chip it in here. We're well beyond 500 now. We're at 515. Shout out to the real ones. Jake, chip it in now. Let's go. Anybody watching the World Baseball Classic? I haven't watched much, but I'll probably watch tonight. We've got it pulled up here in the studio. Rolly's a big baseball guy, so he's ready for this. We crossed 500. We got a flurry. Just some small ones. Oh, TJ with the 20. Shout out TJ. They may not want to sign off. Oh, man. It's all good. We'll do this first one, and then we'll hit these super chats, and then we can both go. They don't want to leave. I mean, look at these soups. It's unbelievable. Happy hour at Bears Now, Brandon says. Just need some wings. Wings do sound good. You going to get some wings at Trivia tonight?
I'm not going to probably get wings at the Donkey today.
What's your go-to at the Donkey when you get food?
Well, first of all, I was at the Donkey a lot lately.
Dude, seriously, you spent what? 12 hours there?
I spent 12 hours there Friday and another 6 on Sunday.
That's honestly unbelievable.
I got wings and pizza 2 separate times there, but usually when I go to Trivia and I buy dinner, which I'm not doing tonight because I got to save some money.
Blew some cash.
Yeah,
during March Madness.
Weekend was brutal. I usually get this barbecue brisket. It's so good.
Oh, that cheddar melt thing?
Yeah, the cheddar melt.
That
thing's unbelievable.
Oh, man.
All right.
I'm getting hungry now. All right, we'll knock this one out, and then we'll catch up on some super chats, and then Rolly and I got a race, so let's get it. There goes Sam. Let's ride. All right, type chug in the chat. Here we go.
Type chug, I'll give some shout-outs. As we are off. Wyatt. Ralph. Wyatt again. Troy. Orange Blaze. Boom. Done.
Little left.
Ali because
It's hard to get that last sip out of these.
Yeah.
I don't really know the strat.
All right, let's get caught up. We got $2 from Top Shot of 15. We got 10 from Glockior.
We love you too.
We got
Appreciate it.
$1 from Caden.
Shout out Caden.
$2 from Daily Bassist.
Let's go. Who does Detroit take at 6? I'd put my money on a corner. I've seen a lot of Gonzalez.
My money is on Jalen Carter or
I've seen
Christian
that
Gonzalez.
too. It sounds like one of the premier defensive guys.
Jake says FGB.
FGB. Shout out
TJ
Jake.
Ochoa.
Shout out TJ with the 20.
$2 from Matt Pilot. I'm doing a beer bong with y'all. Let's go.
Let's go. Matt, if you want to take a photo or a video of it, tweet it at me at HGramNFL. I will retweet it, show you some love because we have fun here, man. Shout out to Matt at HGramNFL. Hit me up. Troy sent it in a super sticker. Appreciate that. Edwin with the 1 as well. So we not only have we crossed 500, we got to 550. Brandon saying happy hour at Bears Now. Listen, Rolly and I are not afraid to have a good time. That's for sure. All right, you coming up here? We getting this done? All right. Are you on Knicks duty tomorrow? You're pretty much just the Knicks guy now. Seep's got shadow banned.
Seeps did get shadow banned. I'd say
Is he in shambles about that?
I don't know. I haven't really talked to him. Coop's doing Thursday.
Coop's like the number 2 guy.
Well, I guess now because Seeps getting pushed out.
Yeah, Seep's got canceled. Cancel culture took Seeps out.
I'd say I take about 60% of the Knicks games now. I'd say 20% Coop, 20% Seeps.
20 feels generous for Seeps. When's the last game he did?
No, he did one 2 weeks ago. Coop has only done like 3 in the past 3 weeks.
All right.
It's been mostly.
I feel like it's 80% you and then
Might be-
10 and
It
10.
might be 75, 10 and 5.
All right.
Or 75.
15 and 10.
Yeah, 15.
All right. Ben says last in. We'll get that up on screen. And, yeah, we'll probably sign off shortly here. Later stream, so Rolly and I got to, get going here shortly. He's got a trivia game to win. You calling your shot in Triv tonight?
I don't know. I don't feel confident. There's just something about it today that doesn't give me
The energy's
vibes.
off?
Maybe after this beer and I go ahead to the donkey again, maybe my things change around. But as of now,
He's
I don't
not
feel
feeling
good
it.
vibes.
All right.
Petey did say it's a good game. But
Yeah, so if you guys don't know, Matthew Peterson, who covers the Browns and Broncos for us here at Chat Sports, he's like a trivia nerd. So he hosts trivia night at a, would you call it a sports? It's a sports bar. It's definitely a sports
I
bar.
think it's the biggest bar I've been to, other than Christie's. Christie's won.
Yeah.
Nottington.
We need to take you to Henderson Tap House. Have you been there?
No.
We need to go
There's
there.
a rumor that it closed. Someone said in the office. I don't know.
Wow, that would be disappointing. I like that place. All right, we'll address that rumor later. But yeah, anyway, Petey he hosts trivia once a week, and usually a group goes, and y'all's name is what? Petey's Pals.
Yeah.
I mean, someone's gonna pick up on that. They're gonna think that it's
Right.
that there's controversy, but there actually isn't. Petey's well, we don't think there is.
Yeah. Well, I'll tell you this. I heard while I was walking back in to do this, you guys were talking to WBC. Let's go United
Yeah,
States.
you fired up?
Yeah.
You call who win? U.S. win tonight?
USA wins 7-4.
7-4. You heard it here.
Shohei Ohtani hits a 2-run homer though, because that's it.
He's a legend. Type R for Rolly, H for Harrison. We're gonna race here. We'll hit the last couple soups, and then we'll call it a day here. So here we go. I'll count us down, and then I'll probably take the L, and then we'll be done. So
I don't know. I feel like you got me today.
you think I got you? Your vibes are off. What's going on? Oh man, my vibes were low earlier today, but I'm kind of back. That first chug got me back. All right, here we go. H for Harrison, R for Rolly, then we're going to call it. All right, Rolly, here we go. 3, 2, 1, go.
I'm not going to lie, I just housed that.
Bad start, but you did house that. Oh, a few more coming in.
Oh, man. Got a lot of foam at the beginning there, but. Listen, I respect the Bears fans' love for you, Harrison, but if you were tuned in last week, you should know
Listen, I have never claimed to be an elite chugger. I will always get it done, but I'm not a heavyweight when it comes to chugging beer. Now, I can take down a lot of beers, but in terms of efficiency, that's not my strong suit. All right, we'll hit these last few super chats, then we'll call it a day. Shout out to you guys. Y'all are awesome. 585 on a different time Tuesday stream. That's a pretty epic performance. Brett Johnson says, last in. I thought you were. Then we got a few more. So shout out to you, Brett. Caden back. He says, congrats on the baby boy. Get the kid a Bears hat. That's the plan. That's the plan. Lots of Bears gear coming his way. Daryl Davis with the 20. Shout out to you, Daryl. Appreciate the support, my friend. Appreciate everybody who's just tuning in, period. Broadway, by the way, says Harrison getting faster. Listen, it's a work in progress. It's a work in progress. Troy Bowman, do you think Herbert will lose that number one spot? Look, the Bears will let D'Onta Foreman and Khalil Herbert compete. I think it's Herbert's job to lose, but I also think there will be a lot of split carries. We saw that with Montgomery and Herbert last year. I like D'Onta Foreman's attitude of saying, hey, I came here to be the guy. Like, that's my goal. So I like that mindset from him, and it'll be exciting to watch because I think that 1-2 punch of Herbert and Foreman, regardless of what the order is, pecking order, I think it's going to be a good one. So I'm very excited about that. All right, Producer Rolly, any parting words, parting takes here?
See you next Tuesday.
See you. Hopefully sooner. Hopefully the Bears make a good enough signing where we go live sooner.
Yeah, I guess that's a good point. But at worst, see you next Tuesday.
Any calls? Because you called Isaiah Wynn at 9:15 one night. That
Didn't
has not
work.
happened. So.
I feel there's a strong feeling inside me. I don't know what it is that they still go with Isaiah Wynn. And they're going to go Thursday at 1:14 p.m.
That might be alive. That might be worthy of a live. So buckle up. You heard it from Rolly. I'm Harrison Graham. Shout out to the real ones once again. Subscribe to the channel for more coverage. Bear down, and we will see. Oh, nope. Final appearance. Nope. Final appearance.
Not
Producer
today.
Jack. Oh, he's wearing a Red Sox hat.
It's not a football hat.
All right, there he goes. We're out of here. Bear down, FGB. We'll see.